me roll through another one for the day, and then we'll be done. We'll talk about this maybe tomorrow. So here's an oil. This is called Valor. And if you don't use Young Living oils, maybe you don't know what Valor is. Maybe you hear us just go stupid crazy over it. I should get the oils out that I had in my original starter kit. I was thinking about Joy. We'll talk about that another time. So Valor, again, I think they gave me like 4 or 5 bottles of Valor, real big ones, like, like this size. Now I have it in this. And I really liked it. Like I opened that, I don't know, a few months into my journey. I'm like, I really like this oil. I like the way it smells. Again, I'm thinking of oils as more of a candle. Not aromatherapy. I didn't know what that was. But so just more candle-y, whatever. Just a nice scent. And I would hear, again, on social media, or I'd hear people say, oh, it's a chiropractor in a bottle. And in my mind, again, the BS meter is going, ping, 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 ping. Red alert. It's what? You mean to tell me I don't have to pay $100 to see a chiropractor, but I can use this bottle on my back? Are you serious, Clark? It sounds stupid, doesn't it? I mean, like, tell me I'm not the only one that thinks that. I still think that. Like, if I say it to people, I would say we used to call it that because, frankly, I got tired of talking to chiropractors that were like, how can this replace what these can do? I'm like, I know, that does sound stupid. So I'm going to stop telling you guys that. But what it does is it balances the body. If used properly, what I learned is that if I used it on my children's back and you lay your baby down and you just kind of give them a nice gentle massage, the spine, because of the way the oils are designed and put together, it will help the nervous system run. The spine has all these nerves, the wires. I like to think about telephone wires coming out of it. And so if those are blocked, if the receptors are blocked, it can't send proper messages to the rest of the body, which is why we need a chiropractor. We need someone to kind of give us an adjustment. It's more than just neck pain or back pain. It's overall health and wellness. This I learned from going to a chiropractor long before essential oils. So we would always get adjusted. And then when I got cancer, my chiropractors were so sweet. They were like, we don't want to charge you. We want you to come in every single week, several times a week. They were so kind and just get them adjusted. And like they said, it needs to keep his immune system up. This here, it says, balances energies to instill courage. Again, when I heard that, I'm like, okay, let's move along, shall we? Confidence and self-esteem. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have a real shitty self-esteem. How is this going to help me at the time, right? I wasn't very confident. I acted like it because that's how I got through life. That's how I became successful as a hairdresser. But inside, it was a disaster. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're telling me that this bottle is going to all of a sudden make all the daddy issues that I have that he left when I was sweet, that's going to help? Really? Is it though? I think not. It actually does. But I didn't know, right? Anyhow, and then it says, I'm sorry, I'm totally off topic. It helps the body self-correct its balance and alignment. If you are not a yoga instructor and you're reading this, you might be thinking like I was, like, okay, we should be done now. Now we just jumped on the crazy train. Because the only way I've ever had my body aligned is from a chiropractor or the occasional, I bent over and I stood up and my back went, right? And I gave myself a little adjustment just because like it was a lucky day. So I didn't understand that. I thought that sounds really stupid. But okay, whatever. I'll let you people tell everybody that's a chiropractor in a bottle. Nobody would tell me why they said that. So here's what I know now. When you use this oil, this Valor, and you put it on the spine and you help the body, you just massage it in, it clears the receptor sites, helping the bones to go where they need to go. I'm going to tell you though, never have I ever been able to put it on my neck and have my neck adjust itself. Which is why I don't say that anymore, because I'm like, that's just stupid. That's just misinformation. It does balance you and it helps your body just kind of like, settle in, but you have to do the work. Like, it's kind of like when people want to have, weight loss and they're like, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And then they go sit on the couch and eat a sandwich. Well, that's not the thing. You have to actually get up and move your butt, right? It's the same thing with Valor. It really, it's a great balancing one. It helps the energy that flows. Please don't tune me out if you are like, what is she talking about energies? Because I would have tuned me out 9 years ago. But you think about your body has electrical impulses. That's why when we shuffle our feet along the carpet and we go bzz, and we can zap each other, it's our frequency, it's our electrical energies mixing with the carpet, and it's stimulating, and there we go. I feel like maybe I digressed on that one. In any case, so I had all these oils. I really liked it. I liked the smell of it, and so I would use it. But I had so many, and my friends who didn't use oils, I'm like, do you want to try this? You guys, I gave away so many oils. I gave away Valor. I gave away Peace and Calming. I think I probably gave away frankincense too. I didn't know the value. Here's what I know about human behavior. When we don't have to pay for something, just human behaviors, we don't appreciate it as much. It's truth. I'm telling you, I wish I could back it up with science. I have unofficial studies on myself, on my family, from my hair clients. Like I would say, when kids didn't have to pay for things, they didn't appreciate it as much as when they had some skin in the game. So I didn't have to pay for these oils. While I appreciated it, I sure as hell didn't appreciate it as much as when I bought my first bottle of rose oil for $190. That I'm like, oh my gosh, I so appreciate you, little rose. And I didn't appreciate Valor as much until this one was unavailable for years. Then they try to sell me something called Valor 2, and I'm like, what is this? This is crap. Get this out of my face. So there's that. So Valor, now if I'm talking to you and I'm telling you, yeah, it helps with courage and confidence and self-esteem, and no, it's not going to take away all the dad issues. And it's not going to like all of a sudden make you not afraid of, giving a speech or any of that. And what happens is, so this is why I think we have to know how oils work before we start throwing them at ourselves or people or whatever, because the oil itself works in the brain. So remember, like on the spine, it helps the nerves just go where they need to go. And in the brain, what happens when you're totally freaking out? Like we all know this, fight or flight. Your adrenaline starts going. You're like wanting to run, head for the hills. So the oils are a chemical. Your body, your hormones are chemicals. They work together to help suppress chemicals that aren't really necessary at that moment. For example, adrenaline. If you're standing up and giving a speech, we don't really need adrenaline at that point, do we? So what we need is just more of a calmness and a peace about us, a clarity of our mind. And so when we breathe in an oil, I want to breathe it in now that we're talking about it. When we breathe in an oil like Valor, like, watch, see. I think that's why I liked it so much, is because there was something in there that just sort of made my body and my mind just feel calm. Does that make sense? So what lavender was supposed to do, which it didn't do for me because I didn't like it. And that's the thing, guys. If you can't get past the scent of an oil, you're not going to notice the effects, because all you're thinking is, I don't like that, right? But if you like a scent, like I really liked Valor, so if I like the scent, and it still smells just as good to me as it did 9 years ago, I'm like, okay, I really like that. And it helps me to relax and let the oils do what it's supposed to do. I hope that is making sense to you guys. It makes sense to me now, and I'm trying to think, but how would I 9 years ago, I probably would have had to try it out for myself, which I'm doing, and see, and I'm like, okay, I can't deny how it's making me feel. So there's that. So if I have an oil that I like, and I'm reading, it says this, maybe I don't believe that, but I'm like, but it makes me feel good, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think the rub comes in when we have oils that we don't like, but we're told, but you have to use this because it's good for whatever it is. And you're like, but I don't like it. Well, then you can't, your body isn't actually going to use it. And I was wrong. I've told people, well, the oils work whether you believe it or not. And that is true to some extent. But if you picture this with me, if I'm giving you an oil and you don't like it, like, let me think, what's an oil? Oh, I still don't like Digest. Let's look at that one. This one is disgusting to me. I do mix it with Thieves. That is nice. But when I smell it, I'm like, you know what else? As I don't like this because it reminds me of throw up. Because when my kids are sick, they've used this. I'm like, great. Now I have that pairing in my mind. If I hand this to you and you're like, I don't like it, your brain is already going into fight or flight, right? I mean, like if somebody comes up to you and you don't like them and they don't like you and there's this like weird energy and tension, right? We just sort of feel a ways about each other. Your body's producing adrenaline. It's telling you, time to go, exit. Like, let's figure out our exit strategy. That's the same thing with oils. So, I think for this one, let's end on this. As we've gone through, let's see, frankincense, Valor, lavender, and Thieves, peppermint. There's an oil that you're just thinking, I don't like that, Jen. I'm sorry, I'm new too. And listen, put it on the back burner for real. Like, don't even use it. Sell it. Just sell it to somebody, because if it's not your oil, it may never be your oil. And why force yourself? Let your body get used to oils that you do like. Like, I wish someone had said to me, just, what do you like? Okay, I like Valor. I really love sandalwood. I remember just wanting to like crawl in that bottle. And frankincense. Okay, well, I didn't need to have all those other oils. I could put them on the shelf. But I felt guilty, like, oh, I should. So, you know how it is. So I'm going to give you just that, like, dude, just put it on the back burner. And maybe if you're new and you're trying to figure out oils, don't buy an entire starter kit. Like, why do we make people do that? I don't know. If they're not feeling it, it's like, let's cherry pick. Let's just see what you like. Let's go from there. So, all right. Thanks for listening.